you know.
And that those minor corrections will be made before we distribute the handbook.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the September 4th, 2024 meeting of the Auburn School Committee. I'm going to call us to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'll start down here on my right with introductions.
Dan Poisson, Ward 5.
Quinn Gormley, Ward 4.
Corin McGuigan, Ward 1.
Pam Hart, Ward 2.
Pam Albert at large.
Sue Doris, Superintendent.
Pat Gaudier, Ward 3.
Jay Rich at large.
Adam Platt, City Council Representative. Gowan Vincent, Student Representative.
Connor Dufour, Student Representative.
Amanda Kuchar, Business Manager.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome. I'm going to start tonight's meeting with the approval of our consent agenda, which includes the approval of tonight's agenda, as well as the approval of the minutes of the August 28th, 2024 meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Quinn first, Corin second. Any questions, discussion? All those in favor? Motion passes. We'll move on to public participation. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address the Auburn School Committee tonight? Seeing none, we will move on to our presentation on our update on school opening for the 2024-25 school year from the Auburn administrative team.
Thank you very much. We are going to start off with East Auburn Community School and Mrs. Gagne.
Looks like I'll be holding that. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here again tonight to tell you a little bit about what's been happening at East Auburn. No surprise, we got off an excellent start. We started with our wonderful open house on the 27th, which was the night before school started. We had a great showing of our families that we see continuously and many of our brand new families that we're welcoming to East Auburn, which was wonderful to see. Beyond that, we started the following morning with a little bit of ruckus because we had that situation with traffic on Center Street. But we had families rolling in, teachers rolling in, doing their very best. And honestly, it was a slow start because we had some people that couldn't even get there till 9:30, 9:45. But wow, what an amazing, resilient staff we have at East Auburn, and our families were fantastic, and we all pulled together, and it started it was just a smooth start, regardless of all the kind of chaos that was happening around us, which was exciting to see. The school looks great. We're in great shape to start the year. Teachers did a fantastic job setting up their rooms. The building looks great, and we've had a lot of support from the community and from Public Works to get us ready for the school year. So we're really appreciative. We have some upgrades happening because of some ESSER funds. We have a brand new playground that's coming in. It started today, so there's a lot of excitement as the trucks were rolling in. Kids were on the playground. We had a staging area where they could watch the construction, and that was really exciting. We also have some new fencing going in and upgrades to our picnic tables, compliments of an East Auburn community unit that donated money to us for that purpose, and we're putting that to good use as well. So it's been an exciting start to the year, and the learning is already happening in classrooms. Kids are settling in, teachers are settling in, a lot of positive energy in the building.
Thank you. Next up, we have Mrs. Bodette from Fairview.
Ditto. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, the building looks amazing. There was a lot of work done this summer, and so it was shiny and ready for everyone. We did have a couple, we had one major project. Our boiler room was dismantled and put back together. It is almost done. We are waiting for one more tank, which should be here this month. So by the end of the month, everything should be wrapped up. I'm happy to report we have lukewarm water right now. First time in 32 years. Not in the kitchen. We've always had hot water in the kitchen, just the rest of the building. But the room looks good. The sauna looks great. It's no longer a sauna. And then really exciting, we had some fencing put up around our biggest piece of playground equipment, and then a gate put up to block off the courtyard. It can be opened for plowing, but that is really, really essential for our junior achieve students and our little ones. So they're able to run freely, and we don't have to worry too much about safety, because it was, Minot Avenue was close by. So that's very exciting. My staff was super excited about that addition. I spoke with Sean today. They are going to start removing an older piece of playground equipment this weekend. And then once we're like maybe next in line after East Auburn, they're going to start, we're getting a new piece of playground equipment, new swings, which is a big thing. And so we're excited about that. We did have our open house last Tuesday night. It was very well attended. It was really nice opportunity for families to meet their new teachers, see their classrooms. So it was good to see our returning families, but then it was really nice to meet our new friends. Yesterday, we welcomed our newest Fairview Tigers. The pre-K students started, and they're really little. But nobody was crying, so that was exciting. We have jumped right in, like Mrs. Gagne said, and at Fairview, we are working on unpacking our school vision. Teachers did a lot of work on our professional development days, and now we're doing that work with the students so that it's meaningful and that we all are working towards the same goals. So, couple issues on the playground today, so it was kind of like right back in the swing of things. Football started, so yay. Otherwise, it's been great, actually. It's good to see everyone, and everyone looks happy to be back, so that's nice.
Thank you. Mrs. Maris from Park Avenue.
Hello, it's always a pleasure to come and speak with everybody about Park Avenue School. I will echo my colleagues and say we've had a fantastic start to this school year. We have welcomed over 80 new students into Park Avenue this year. Our enrollment is up, and so that's also exciting. We started last year around this time at 320 students, so we're getting right back up there. Our pre-K is full for the first time since I've been at Park Avenue, so we're very happy to have our little friends in the building. They also started yesterday, so we are right in the thick of it. We are really working on our routines and procedures and practicing. We too have playground upgrades coming to Park Avenue in the coming weeks, the end of September. So we talked today as our leadership team that we might have to reteach some routines on the playground because we have some new exciting, we have spinning equipment coming in, which will be an upgrade from the merry-go-round of my youth, but we will have one at Park Avenue and some new climbing structures. So it will be very exciting for our students, and also the community really accesses Park Avenue's playground. In the summer, we have camps that come, and families are there all of the time, so it'll be a nice addition for the community. Other highlights at school, we had a well-attended open house. Returning faces just running through the front doors, ready to be there, and welcoming new families as well. We posted pictures of our first Pizza Friday last week was a big hit kickoff, and the cafeteria staff are doing a great job of servicing the needs of our students and meeting them where they're at. And office staff, everybody's right on board, and we're ready to go with a beautiful school.
Thank you. And next we have Mr. Davis from Sherwood Heights.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here, and there we go. We'll start over. Reset. Take two. I'm happy to report that we are off to a wonderful start at Sherwood Heights, and according to Mrs. Short in the front office, who's been there, this is her 8th year. She said this was the best opening to the school she's seen in 8 years. So we're super glad about that, super excited. Our enrollment is down slightly, but we are hovering right around, as of tomorrow, I think it'll be 293. So, and the door keeps opening daily. So we're watching the numbers climb. We did have a really well-attended open house like everyone else had just before school started, where I had our parent group, our FOSH, our Friends of Sherwood Heights had a table. We invited the Girl Scouts and the Finance Authority of Maine, so they had informational booths for families as well, so that was really nice. Welcoming. You may have seen the article in the Sun Journal about the opening of schools that featured two of our new hires at Sherwood Heights, second and third grade teachers, about what it was like prepping and how excited they were to come to Auburn. And so we were very fortunate to hire some amazing staff across the district, and especially at Sherwood Heights. We too are getting a playground upgrade, and looking forward to that. We're replacing some swing sets. I think they're probably original swings, and so the kids are really excited to get out into the playground, hopefully by next week when things are all said and done. Do want to give a shout out to Walton School, because their kitchen has been assisting our school because we're undergoing a big kitchen upgrade, as you may know, and they've had to work with our kitchen staff in preparing the meals and bringing that over to us. It was seamless. You wouldn't even know that there was a lot of chaos behind the walls in the kitchen, but lunch and breakfast went on as normal. So we are off to a great start, and I think it's going to be a fantastic year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Next, we have Mrs. Heimrel from Walton.
All right, as everyone else has said, we've also had a wonderfully amazing start at Walton this year. Smiles and positive energy have just radiated around the building. It's been so exciting to be part of that. We are fully staffed, which is also very exciting. We've hired 2 new ed techs this year and 1 new 5th grade teacher. Our open house, also a huge success. Out of our 152 students currently in enrollment, we had 100 families show up, which according to staff was one of the better open houses they've seen in a long time. We had a scavenger hunt. Lots of rooms have moved in the building over the summer, so in order for people to know where everything had been moved to, we did a really fun scavenger hunt, which kids really enjoyed. When they finished, they got popsicles on the playground, and it was a really fun time for everyone that was there. The building looks wonderful despite the, I don't know how many weeks summer camp was at Walton this summer. They vacated on the 12th of August, and we had a week to get all the floors done on the first floor, and things moved and classrooms set up. And so despite the time crunch, it all came together. It's amazing. We have 2 beautiful new art and music spaces on the first floor. We had to move those rooms out of the basement. So those rooms came together very quickly as well. They look wonderful, and the kids are super excited to have those new spaces in the building. We've moved our OT room also to the 2nd floor right off the elevator, so that's actually a really nice space for that. Today we held our first whole school meeting in the gym at the end of the day. Super fun, super exciting. We held it like a morning circle, so 150 students circled the gym. We did a greeting, a share. It was really fun. The staff all gave super positive feedback when we finished, said it was like re-energized and different from anything they'd done. So that was really exciting. I was fortunate enough to lead a morning meeting today in 4th grade, and I had teachers say, hey, can you come and lead a morning meeting in my class next? And so I'm excited about the opportunity to get to do that and connect with kids and build relationships. And everyone is just happy and ready for a great year. So it's been awesome.
Thank you. All right, Mrs. Wood from Washburn.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having us all here this evening. The school year started off wonderfully. I mean, Washburn, it was like a frenzy of excitement last Tuesday when we welcomed all of our returning families and our new families. Kids were just so excited to be back in school, back in routine. We had our open house, and we had about 65% of our families come. It was a pretty successful turnout, And we had the opportunity at our open house to also have Miss Emily from Healthy Androscoggin. So she came out and did kind of, with our partnership with Good Shepherd Food Bank, she kind of took some kid-friendly recipes and demonstrated what you can make with them. And so that collaboration felt really good, and we got some good feedback from that as well. Like all of my other colleagues, we have some new pre-K equipment going into our playground. So students are very excited about that, and we can't wait to see, hopefully not too much spinning, as we've learned the hard way in this past week, what that can lead to. You know, a huge shout out to maintenance staff for getting our building in tip-top shape. I mean, they worked really hard, and shout out for being flexible and having staff from other buildings come over to help us get that all ready for our students to welcome back. We've been working on our community expectations with our Lion Code of being respectful, responsible, persistent, and safe. We've done a whole school guided discovery where we, you know, explore the different areas. Well, what does it look like to go in the cafeteria? How do we make sure we're safe on the playground? Those sorts of things. So, you know, kind of focusing on having those common expectations to, you know, promote a really strong climate and culture of accountability, but high expectations for students. And, you know, a huge shout out to my staff as well. We are nearly fully staffed, but the energy is so positive, and the dedication that we've had a lot of new staff this year. The dedication they've put into, you know, every thoughtful piece of getting their classrooms set up is phenomenal. So, but other than that, you know, we're looking forward to a successful and exciting school year of learning and growing together. So,
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Wilson at the Auburn Middle School.
Hi. So Auburn Middle School's had a terrific start.
Press the button.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi. Auburn Middle School has had a terrific start to the school year. The building is in phenomenal shape. This past Thursday, we had our open house, which was attended by just about 80% of our families. We know that because we collected some of the beginning of the year paperwork when they entered. We had booths at this year's open house for the first time. We had a FAME booth, we had a PTO booth, we had a beginning of the year paperwork booth, which was very, very popular. And our SEL staff was available to talk with families if they needed some support. We are right back in the thick of it. Staff and students have been developing and practicing their codes of conduct. Students are working on their core identities, core posters, and practicing the routines of AMS so that we can start slow in order to go fast as the year progresses. We're very excited. This Friday, I can see you're all anxious. This Friday, we have our first school dance. If you want to relive being 13 again, feel free to join us. We take all people for chaperones. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mrs. McLeod, Franklin Merrill Hill.
It's nice to see that Mr. Wilson is taking over for Mr. Dorr and being a very difficult act to follow, but it is what it is. So thank you very much for the opportunity to share a little bit about the opening of the school year at Franklin. So I'll start before the kids even arrived. With our upcoming programming, I challenged my staff to take part in a couple of events during our professional development days, including participating in a sample wilderness survival class, which our students will be doing this year. So my very trusting and very wonderful staff did some blindfolded woodwalk and built a fire and did all kinds of things. So that was a very lovely experience. So that was great. They're going to be doing a yoga exhibition from our yoga teacher soon, so they'll be really delighted for that. So with all of our new programming coming in this year, we've been working to kind of get the finishing touches so that we can do our full implementation. Because of that, our open house is going to be pushed off and be more of a kickoff to our programming. So when our students returned, we had a wonderful week last week. Our first 2 days are always around cultural building and reorienting ourselves to our safe school culture at Franklin. So those days went really well. We've kicked off this week back into classes. Students are doing exceptionally well. They had busy summers, and they're all very happy to be back with their Franklin families. So a great start, one of the best. So that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Neer.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, awesome start to the school year. Very different than last year. People seem to be much more settled and much more really focused on embracing the start of the school year versus where am I going and what does that look like. So that's been very different and very positive. Last Wednesday, we started with our 9th graders, had a wonderful kickoff day with them. That went very, very well. Thursday, met with each of the grades, discussed some adjustments to rules and procedures, and that was well received. I would say that the juniors and seniors continue to be excellent leaders and have really modeled those procedures and have done a beautiful job with that. Classes have settled in. Our numbers are really large. We're up over 1,000. I still have another 39 enrollments coming. So very positive there and very well embraced by everybody in the building. Sports have kicked off. We start our regular season tomorrow. Golf is already off to a good start. Their season started first. They're rocking and rolling and doing an awesome job. And last night we had our open house. Very well attended, very well received. Got lots of positive feedback from families. Good numbers in the gym. So in terms of percentage of people being there, very well received, very well attended. And we are full staffed, which is very exciting. And one staff member that I really want to make sure that we stress and give a shout out to is we now have a Performing Arts Center event coordinator, Lily Gardner, on board. So that is a big win in so many ways, and that's really exciting. And so she's already working and strategizing on bringing events in and what that's going to look like and how do we coordinate the many multitudes of calendars to make sure that there aren't any conflicts and things are working smoothly.
Thank you. Any questions for the administrators about the startup of school?
I have a quick question. Lily, was she an employee of the school first? No, this is just her. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have any other questions? All right, thank you, everyone. Moving on to our student representatives report. Do we have a report tonight? Okay. Moving on to our superintendent's report. Dr. Doris.
Thank you, Chairperson Albert. Tonight I am going to provide you with an update on our hiring and where we are. As Mrs. Gagne shared last week, we have hired 23 new teachers, and we still have 4 vacancies, but 3 of the 4 are covered right now with long-term subs. We have 13 ed tech vacancies, and we've hired 9 ed techs. So what has happened there is we've been hiring ed techs, but we've also had some resignations. So it's similar to where we were back in July, so we're still working to hire ed techs. In terms of our support services, we did hire an administrative assistant for the bus garage, which is fantastic. So that's been very helpful. She started on Monday, and things are running smoothly there. Let's see, moving down, we did hire an event coordinator. As Mr. Neer said, we are really excited about that, and we'll bring you an update later in the fall once that person is in place and we have things up and running. And then in terms of the assistant superintendent position, we will be posting an interim assistant superintendent next week. And that's it. Any questions?
I don't think so. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to our city council update tonight. Adam.
Thank you. I don't have much other than last night, I did share with the council the attendance numbers that we were given at last meeting, and they were all very excited to see that. There was a request if, I guess by our next meeting, they could get an update, because I know that the attendance numbers just keep increasing for several weeks. So they were interested in an update before our meeting in 2 weeks, so if you could just, I'll reach out to you.
Yes.
So there was that, and then the other one, I mean, not really directly related to schools, but just so everyone in the room is aware, if you haven't received it yourself, you live in Auburn, but tax bills have gone out. It's important to know, just so you know what kids' parents are going through. So something might come up at school, and it's because their parents just got a tax bill. So, but it's important to know that, so that's my only update. Thanks.
Great, thank you. And I just realized that I skipped over my chairperson's report, but I do not have one tonight. So we have our committee reports, all of our standing committees with policy subcommittee agenda and minutes linked from the 27th, and the curriculum subcommittee agenda linked from just prior to this meeting. So moving on to our new business, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Auburn School Department Student and Family Handbook. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Quinn, seconded by Pat. Dr. Doris, do you mind giving us a brief update about some of the changes that we see in the handbook this year?
Yes, so last year each school had their own handbook, and what we decided to do was have a district level handbook so that we could have more consistency across all of our schools. And so there are a few major changes in this new handbook. One is that food service deliveries are prohibited in all of our schools. Another is that all of our schools are stocking Narcan now, and we have protocols for its administration. We also updated our safety response actions, including the ALICE protocol that we have in place, which is alert, lockdown, inform, counter, and evacuate. And then we have included our protocols for school cancellations, delays, and early dismissals. And then you'll note that in the new handbook, we have information on the schools, contact information, hours, administrators, and we also have school committee members included in the handbook. So those are the major additions and/or changes.
Great, thank you. Does anyone have any questions or discussion about the handbook?
I do. I apologize because I wasn't at the meeting and I'm on the policy committee, but I wasn't able to make the meeting because I had to work. I just have a couple suggestions that I think would be minor changes. One of them is wherever it says parents, that we also add the word guardians. And that's throughout the handbook. Also, on page 15, where it says GIS map, if you click onto that on the computer, it will say page not found. So that might be something we need to fix.
So link needs to be updated.
Yeah, and according to that page, I didn't really see a link for districts of our school districts. So I don't know if that needs to be added as well. And also under the health protocol on page 17 and 18, where it says to return to school after 24 hours without a temperature, I suggest we probably put temperature should be normal for 24 hours without the use of fever-reducing medications. And where we talk about delayed starts, early dismissals, and school cancellations, it says that it's going to be on the radio or on TV, but are we also going to have it on our website?
Yes, it will be on our website.
Okay, it doesn't say that in the handbook. So
We can add that in.
Okay. And my other question, and this, I could be completely wrong on this, on page 22, where it talks about ALICE, it says it stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. But it describes it as these drills prepare students and staff for situations where staying in the building is safer than evacuating. If that's the case, then why is evacuate part of ALICE?
It's part of ALICE if that's needed. It's also a response action. That's why it's listed as a separate bullet there.
Okay, all right, and I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions, edits? Okay, so a motion to approve, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the Auburn School Department Student and Family Handbook with those noted edits included. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by Pat. All those in favor of approving the Auburn School Department Student and Family Handbook with the noted edits? Motion carries. Okay, we have our upcoming meetings listed. Our next regular school committee meeting is on September 18th. Any future agenda items or requests for information?
Did we manage to go close to 3 months without a health and safety committee meeting because of Labor Day?
So yes, our next Health and Safety Committee meeting is in October. It's the first Monday in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we just?
Only because the first Monday in September was Labor Day.
Okay. We might want to think about that for the calendar next year because that was a pretty lengthy break.
Yep.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I noticed you've dropped the policy committee meeting on here.
That date is not on there because we are going to talk about a different day and time.
Okay. So will we have a meeting? in
Yes, we
September?
will. You will receive notification of that.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Sorry, I just.
Pam, second by Quinn.
I was actually.
Oh,
I had one
sorry.
more question. Can we get a list of a breakdown of all the vacancies in writing? If that wasn't included in one of the reports and I missed it.
Yes, we can do that for you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All those in favor? We are adjourned at 6:32. Thank you, everyone. Good night.